being with us today. I believe it's better if we can get the community to work on these little projects. We learn from each other. As you undoubtedly know, I wrote most of the stories you grew up with. Let's see what there is. Okay, well, there's Rumpelstiltskin, Chicken Little, Little Red Riding Hood. I'm best known for my romances. Some people call me Grimm, or Anderson, or Perrault. Small matter. But thanks to me, Cinderella found her royal mate, Sleeping Beauty her life's companion, and that frog at the bottom of the well found love and happiness in a nearby place. The list of my love matches is endless. Well, there's Beauty and the Beast, the Louse and the Flea, and Snow White and her prince. However, from time to time in Storybook Land, things do go a bit sour. Human nature, as an optimist, I've always ended my adventures by writing, and they lived happily ever after. Truth of the matter is, no one ever took the time to inquire how these marriages really work out. That is why from time to time I must perform the duties as a marriage counselor. If you'll follow me, please.
Morning, counselor.
Morning, Miss Scribe. What's on the agenda?
Oh, Snow White's canceled at the last minute.
Oh.
Couldn't change her hair appointment. She's dyeing her hair blonde. She says they have no fun, you know.
I didn't know, and I didn't approve. Did she say how her husband were getting on?
It sounded rather cynical.
How so?
She said she believed in dreams until she married one.
The prince was always something of a talker. That could be the problem. Once a man learns how to listen, he and his wife remain on speaking terms. Schedule them both for a future date. Who's first?
Cinderella's husband.
Prince Charming? What could be the problem there?
He's been waiting almost an hour.
Show him in! Show him in!
You may come in now. Prince.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again, Charming.
I'm not feeling very charming.
Please, sit down. Tell me, what's your problem?
Well,
Come. We are all here to help.
alright. I'll come directly to the point. I don't think I'm suited to Cinderella.
What makes you say that?
Well, you can take Cinderella out of the kitchen, but you can't take the kitchen out of Cinderella.
I'm not following you.
I'm a business-like fellow, concerned with worldly affairs, conference parties, things like that.
Yes.
Cinderella is something of a past. She doesn't need a modern prince like me. I can't get away from those cinders. She actually likes the fireplace.
Dear.
She even turned that wonderful glass slipper into a planter.
A planter?
She has philodendron growing in it. You know, I used to think that being lonesome was man's worst fate.
Things are that bad?
I'll show you. Cinderella, what are you doing in the cookery?
I like it here. It's humble.
I wish you'd get out of humble and into haughty. How do you think it feels to our loyal subjects having the princess dressed in rags? By choice.
I'm a simple person, but sincere.
Yeah.
Cinderella, this ball gown needs to be remembered at the library. Stick to it, will you? Of course, sister dear.
My wife does not take in sewing.
Since when?
As ruler of this kingdom, I forbid it.
Working for others makes her happy. She has a right to be happy. Who are you to think otherwise?
Her husband?
Oh, that.
What are you doing living here anyway? Why don't you live in your own cottage?
When I can live here, rent-free, with this pinhead?
Cinderella, take you to the slippers, will you?
I'll do my humble best.
My wife does not polish other people's slippers.
Since when?
Cinderella, this has got to stop.
Why?
There are affairs of state we must attend to. Soup phone, conferences, pardons, taxes.
Cinderella has no interest in that sort of rubbish.
We keep telling you she's happy the way she is.
But I'm not.
Listen to him, men.
Never satisfied.
All husbands are alike, but have different faces so you can tell them apart.
This is far more serious than I thought.
Cinderella, I'm losing my patience.
And I have a feeling you'd rather lose Cinderella.
All right. What about the ball this time?
All those people, all that rich food, you go by yourself. I'll stay here and talk with the mice.
I heard the last remark, Cinderella.
Hello, cruel stepmother. Is there any humble service I may perform for you?
Oh, you're so sweet. You're giving the whole castle diabetes.
Would you like to watch me sit about the fireplace?
Heavens, no. And I don't think you're fulfilling your obligations as wife or as a princess. These people expect more from you.
Fooled them, didn't I?
What's the use?
I sympathize with you, your highness.
I must go. The royal accountant's awake.
I'm making stale bread and milk for dinner.
You see, it's always like that. I'm the laughing stock of the entire countryside. A man never knows when he's done because, he never is.
There, chump. I mean, charm. I'll be so. Trust me. Miss Scribe! Show the poor man out, will you?
Imagine married to a woman who trains on pumpkins and talks to mice.
So you'll be all right.
Who's next?
Sleeping Beauty's husband, Prince Lane.
Send him in.
I'm in.
I don't see why you couldn't wait with the others.
I'm too impatient.
Obviously, sit down, won't you, Lazarus?
I'm desperate.
Let's see. Sleeping Beauty. Cinderella, wine. Ah, here we are. Sleeping Beauty. And they lived happily ever after. That's what I wrote.
Surprise, surprise. Nancy, always right.
You're bitter about something.
Remember how I had to cut my way through a thorny forest?
Naturally.
I was covered in band-aids. For weeks.
Love makes some men reckless.
How I had to chop at the thick foliage around the castle.
Naturally.
I sprained my wrist.
I didn't know.
And after I went through all that, there she was, Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping.
That's the trouble. I like to go out. I like to move in the world. I like to go to fine restaurants.
Aha! I'm beginning to understand. You do not like your wife's cooking. My best advice is to just keep your mouth shut.
My wife has given me the best years of her life and the worst of mine.
What does she do with herself all day?
Naps.
What?
She naps. They don't call her sleeping beauty for nothing.
But with your kiss, you saved her from everlasting sleep.
That was before the happily ever after part.
We can't all pick the winning horse.
Are you calling my wife a horse?
Figure of speech.
I don't know much about speech. Beauty doesn't like to talk.
How do you communicate?
Infrequently. I've had to take a course in interpreting her snores. Watch. Wake up, Beauty. Rise and shine. What are you doing asleep in the middle of the morning? You slept all night.
Resting my afternoon nap.
But we're going horseback riding.
Tomorrow, maybe.
Maybe.
All depends if I'm rested or not. You should take a nap.
And you should take interest in this marriage.
I'll think about it tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow, now. The royal relatives are coming for a state banquet. You've got to be there, alert,
banquet, she fell asleep during the appetizer.
I'll have to get this concern for thought.
A man like me doesn't need a woman who sleeps all day. I need someone spirited and enchanted.
You mean enchanting? Wait outside, Miss Link. I mean, Princely. I'll do something.
You'd better.
Things not going so well?
I had no idea we went to such a sorry state. The temperaments are so different. What am I going to do?
That's what I want to know.
Who's she? Your next appointment. I don't seem to recognize her. It's the Pawn Princess.
The Pawn Princess.
Don't you remember? You married her off to a frog.
A frog!
You're talking about my husband, I gather.
Yes. I forgot for the moment. I had so many in the book. You understand?
Don't see how you could forget about him. Nasty, cold thing that he is.
You mean what? Today, thanks to the counselor, the frog is now a happy and well-adjusted prince.
If that's so, what am I doing here?
No, that's a question we
Oh,
can't answer.
okay, Miss Ryan. You better let me handle this. Tell the others to be patient. Sit down, won't you?
I prefer to stand.
As you wish.
The idea, the very idea. You should be ashamed of yourself.
What have I done?
You write us into a life, marry us off, and then abandon us.
You're being unfair. After all, we are all here to help. If you would tell me what's troubling you.
Well, to begin with, it's embarrassing to be married to a man who was once a frog.
These things happen. We must be mature enough to accept them.
A man can't just live as a frog for years and years and then change overnight.
What is it that he does specifically that annoys you?
Gross.
He's broke! Hi, Princeton, a voter choice award! Are you informing me? Your husband has passed on!
No! Broke like a frog. There. See for yourself.
Okay. I hope he doesn't trip.
Tomorrow, husband. Are you in good health?
This is a case for a marine biologist.
So, I noticed yesterday you were sitting out in the garden pond again. You weigh too much to sit on a lily pad. Besides, the children of the neighborhood are not accustomed to seeing their ruler playing in stagnant puddles or catching flies. The royal carpets are soggy from your comings and goings. Kiss me. Watson's is a mud turtle. And when you quit saying croak, you're not a frog any longer. You're just a husband. Go outside and play in the mud.
Won a gold medal in leapfrog Olympics. Most unusual. Once a swordfoot person broke in the future is usually bright.
Bright? My future has been mossy green, and I don't like it. You can see for yourself that the prince and I are completely incompatible. I mean, I enjoy fine restaurants. I like horseback riding. I delight in official functions.
Interesting that you should say that. You've given me an idea.
Being married to a man who insists on reverting to his frog-like ways is unnerving and impractical for a level-headed woman like me.
I Quite agreed. You just uncalled.
Then call.
Miss Scribe! Would you call the others in, please?
All of them?
All of them.
Should I? Come on. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, husbands and wives. I quite agree that writing and lived happily ever after was a bit premature. You're telling Please! Please! Nothing will be solved by raw emotion. Now, I assume you all wish to remain married.
Ooh, that's the whole point of writing a fairy tale.
To the wife, I would say being a wife is a hit or miss proposition.
She doesn't make a hit, she'll remain a miss.
And to the husbands, I would say that every husband expects his wife to be perfect.
No matter what she says.
The solution is simple.
What are you gonna do?
You're writing anything here and anything there, some minor editing, and just put everything through the computer.
Sensible idea. Who marries who?
That's who, okay? Learn it.
Who cares? Who gets what?
From what I've heard today, all Sleeping Beauty wants to do is sleep, sleep, and sleep.
There's your answer.
And all the Frog Prince wants to do is croak, and croak, and croak.
Endlessly.
Take it on, Miss Scribe. In the new editions, the Frog Prince will be married to Sleeping Beauty.
One nap, one croak.
What about me?
I'm afraid you're right. Cinderella's not so to you. I'm afraid she's a loser.
A loser who's humble and sincere.
In the new editions, you will be married to your stepmother-in-law.
Wonderful idea.
She's clever, skillful, and interested in the stock market.
Hello? Don't forget about me.
You and Princeling think alike. Share the same interests. Are writing any here and any there so that you two will marry.
What about Cinderella?
She has her humility. No husband can compete with that. Got it on the script?
Got it.
All right, put it.
Can we watch?
If Meta has titles, we'll have titles too.
All right, everyone. We arrange our lives, we live it all tomorrow. Technology and this crisis intervention. Out, get out of my office. New lives await you. And now, a slight problem to the story's endings has been corrected. Prince Charming and the stepmother-in-law, Sleeping Beauty and the Frog Prince, and Princeling and the Pawn Princess lived happily ever after. Wait a minute! What's that? Speak a little loud, please. You want to see how their lives worked out? But I just told you. You're from Missouri and you wish to be shown? All right. We'll see that happiness and bliss reigns in each and every kingdom.
Cinderella, there's a spot on my necktie. Can you get it out?
I'll try your majesty.
Charming, what are you doing in here?
There was a spot on my necktie.
I will not have you in here talking with the servants. You're an autocrat. You see, that's the trouble with you, Charming. You think too much, and you're not gonna wear this horrid thing.
But it's my favorite.
You never knew how to dress, and you never will. From now on, I'll pick your clothes. And another thing, don't invite any more of your friends over to the castle. I find them boring.
What?
Why are you stammering like that? Come along or else we'll be late for the theater. I had to change to a musical even though you dislike them. You're so fortunate to find a woman like me.
Yes, dear.
Oh, I'll sing on the pumpkin.
Can't win them all. I'm sure the others have fared better.
Stop that croaking, you idiot. That's my acting now, but like, croaky. You're demented. Stop it, I say.
Oh my.
Lovely, lively creature.
At it again, are we?
Hello, dear.
No, hello dear me. You peeping Tom. You're using those binoculars to check out that cinder person over there.
I think she has royal qualities.
Really? Think so? And I'm about to give you a few royal lumps. Take that, and that, and that.
Look what this boy has done. He put a jacket with the missing button. He is such an infant.
No, stop.
Give me back the binoculars.
I catch you with the binoculars one more time, and I'll play nursery rhyme on your skull.
Miss Rhyme! I'm not afraid of a whistle. Please, I seem to be experiencing problems.
Never mind your problems. What about me? How do I get rid of this frog of a husband? Help me! I just been kissed by Manny thinks he's a frog. Help! Help!
Behave yourself. You
Really,
silly
worst
boy.
counselor ever. I mean, I'm not real ending. You
And now, Prince Charming and Cinderella have once been reunited. Sleeping Beauty has been awoken by Princeling. And our frog has been transformed